Finally, some good news for once, because the biggest problem to ever exist within the streaming landscape has finally been solved. Netflix has given users the option to disable their absolutely horrific autoplay preview feature. It makes me anxious.
Yeah, no, it's an anxiety attack.
Yeah, it's like my TV is just like, hey, what are you gonna watch? What are you gonna watch? Here's something to watch.
There's too much pressure. They're backseat driving.
Chill the fuck out, Netflix.
Well, finally, enough people got mad, and it's guaranteed that they did this as a reaction because there's been countless posts and videos, people just complaining about this. So
the worst.
It's good that it's finally happening. Now, I'm not even really sure when this whole thing first started. It was just like one day, it was like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, the stupid autoplay preview feature on Netflix had turned hours of mindless browsing fun into an anxiety-fueled nightmare for me, Elliot, and apparently millions of other users out there who now had to start rapidly switching or flipping through potential shows or movies at a much faster pace, because if you lagged for just a few seconds to, I don't know, read the description or check out some of that promotional artwork.
Yeah, check your phone, sneeze.
Yeah. You would be then cursed with a preview of the show alongside dialogue or some kind of weird royalty-free music when they don't actually own like the rights to the movie. It's always like some standard Netflix music that you hear in a store or something.
It's oppressive. Anyway, yeah, it was also reported that in some cases, the previews that Netflix would show while people were browsing contained spoilers for the series or the movies that they were promoting, which would justifiably piss anyone off.
Yeah.
In a statement posted to Twitter, which included a link on how to disable the autoplay functionality, Netflix said the following: "Some people find this feature helpful."
Lie.
Don't think so. Others not so much.
Truth.
Everyone else, yes. "We've heard the feedback loud and clear. Members can now control whether they see autoplay previews on Netflix. Here's how."
So basically, you sign into your web browser, you hit Manage Profiles, you select your profile, and then you uncheck the option for autoplay previews.
So here's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm sure this affects, all the big devices.
Yeah.
But I have a TV that's like 4 years old, and it's probably running an OS that hasn't been updated in years.
So according to this, you do it because you have to go onto an internet browser to log into Netflix to click the button. So then it apparently does it in the cloud. That mysterious cloud that floats above all of us.
I'm going to test this out later.
Yes. Yeah. So it's as easy as that. And it's an option that should have been there from the second they decided to enable this feature in the first place. Oh, and since we're on the topic, they'd also had previously included an option to turn off autoplay for the next episode of whatever you're watching, which is handy.
Yeah. That's another annoying one. It's like, no, I don't want to watch another movie. I just finished watching a movie. You
also,
crazy people.
let me read the credits.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people worked really hard on this, Netflix.
Yeah,
what the heck, man?
I'm surprised the unions aren't pissed.
Yeah.
Well, that option had been there before this one, and now they're all in the same place. So you can't miss it if you're looking for it. But if you're bad at listening to directions, we'll leave a link in the description to the help page, because it's very simple. Why aren't you listening to us?
In other Netflix news, the company has released a report called Environmental Social Governance, in which they admit to receiving and complying to takedown requests of shows, episodes, or movies that they've received from certain governments.
They're censoring, baby.
And it looks like Singapore is the one who hits Netflix up most often in order to convince them to remove things from the platform for audiences within their country. But there's a few other not-so-surprising things on here as well. Here's everything that Netflix is taking down, and from which country.
The Bridge, a documentary about Golden Gate Bridge suicides, that was taken off of their service in New Zealand back in 2015. New Zealand struck first.
Okay.
Full Metal Jacket was removed from Netflix in Vietnam in 2017.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead was removed in Germany in 2017 as well.
What?
Yeah, they had apparently, for all of their scatological preferences and weird sex shit, Germans, apparently the German government, not very fond of gore.
But Night of the Living Dead was made in the 60s and is like, all the blood is fucking chocolate syrup.
So apparently they have since changed and are allowing stuff like this now.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, 2018 is when it looks like Singapore realized they could do a little bit of censoring. Because in that year alone, they had 3 marijuana-related shows or movies taken down. The Legend of 420, Cooking on High, and Disjointed.
Yeah, they really don't like weed there. It's a serious crime.
You will go to jail for a long time.
Yes.
You might never get out.
Yeah.
So this makes sense that they would literally censor everything that has weed on it.
Lovely country, but very authoritarian. Basically the Saudi Arabia of South Asia. Nice airport.
And speaking of Saudi Arabia had Netflix take down the episode of Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj, and that episode was obviously critical of their government.
Yeah,
that just happened last year.
I remember that. And Hassan Minhaj interviewed Bernie Sanders recently, and Bernie was saying a lot of, he's like, basically saying Saudi Arabia is like, the people that run that country are authoritarian. They're very bad. And Hassan's he's just like, all right, you said that, not me.
Yeah.
I've had enough trouble with these people.
Rounding out this whole list was Singapore once again, who had them remove The Last Temptation of Christ in 2019 and something called The Last Hangover this year.
All right.
So, and that's apparently within it, it indicates that these are ones that they took down after they were live on the service. There's apparently a lot more that they just never put on there in the first place.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So,
as for why they're allowing this, well, it's because they're a business.
Yeah.
And they don't want to throw away millions upon millions of dollars because an entire country's government wants them to take down a single show about cooking with weed or some shit like that.
Yeah.
As it's explained in the report by way of Axios, quote, Netflix says it will only take down content if it receives a written request from the government seeking the censorship. The company says it will work to keep content available on its service, and if it can't come to an agreement with the government in the country that it operates, then it will take down content after receiving a written government request. It considers written demands legal demands, and it aims to comply with local laws.
yeah. So, I mean, it sucks.
ExpressVPN, baby.
Oh, yeah.
If you live in Saudi Arabia and you really want to watch some weed shows.
Yeah. No, Saudi Arabia, it's something that goes against your government.
Yeah.
If you're in Singapore, you can watch the weed shows with the VPN.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know, tread lightly, I would assume. But moving over to something that is actually literally fucking up the world right now, the coronavirus.
Oh
I know. We just can't stop talking about it.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, but it's because every single day that goes by brings new and worrying news about the damage that this illness is doing to the planet. But up until recently, all the updates were just about simple stuff like people getting sick, being quarantined, or dying.
Yeah.
Now, the coronavirus is coming for the gamers. And it looks like fans of Nintendo are going to be hit hardest because it appears as though they've already anticipated delays for new Nintendo Switch hardware in addition to those Ring Fit controller things. And that's all thanks to the coronavirus shutting down production in factories within China.
They targeted gamers.
What are you going to do about it?
In addition to Nintendo hardware, it's looking like the release of the Switch version of one of our favorite games of last year, The Outer Worlds, might also be delayed because of this outbreak. It was announced fairly recently that Outer Worlds was not only coming to the Nintendo Switch, but that it would be released fairly quickly with a previously confirmed release date of March 6, 2020. But sadly, that is no longer the case because the team that's working on the official port of the game, a company called Private Division, has had to delay their work because their office is literally shut down due to the coronavirus outbreak. They sent out the following update on Twitter.
We're delaying Outer Worlds on Nintendo Switch due to the coronavirus impacting the Virtuous team working on the port to provide them enough time to finish development. We'll now be releasing the physical version on cartridge. Once we have a new launch date, we'll let you know. They added that, to clarify, the team at Virtuous is okay, but their office has remained closed during this time. We're working with the team to determine an updated development timeline, and we'll share more regarding a new launch date shortly. So that part about the physical cartridge, that's in reference to the fact that the original plan, and this happens with other Switch games.
Yeah.
The original plan is to release a physical box version of it, but just has a download code inside.
Fuck off.
Some people just want to collect the boxes, but now they're going to make the cartridge, so it's actually has something in it.
Good. I'm going to buy it and I'm going to lick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were also rumors spreading this week that the outbreak would potentially delay the release of Sony's PlayStation 5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X, aka the Xbox X, because like a lot of other tech products, both consoles will obviously contain components that are produced in China. Everything does these days. An article from Business Insider stated, quote, the video game sector is currently manufacturing or beginning to a once-in-several-years product generation change for the 2020 holiday season. If company shutdowns exceed a month or so, game schedules will be delayed. New consoles may likewise suffer supply issues from a prolonged disruption ahead of their fall 2020 planned launches.
And yeah, I mean, that makes sense. As you said before, a lot of companies are going to have problems because their components are produced in China.
Literally anything involving any sort of electronics
yeah.
has at least some parts made in China, and it's all getting quite bottlenecked right now.
So yeah, it does make sense, but another analyst who spoke directly with Tech Radar offered a somewhat comforting rebuttal, explaining that while this could cause problems for companies like Apple, who have backed themselves into a corner by producing their products almost entirely in China.
But assembled in Cupertino.
It's unlikely that delays will happen with gaming consoles because Microsoft and Sony are a bit more diversified with their manufacturing. It's just cheaper for them to do it in China. They have other options, though.
Mexico, this is your moment.
Yeah.
Seize this opportunity.
Yeah. Mexico needs to make their version of Alibaba. Now, he also notes that the actual amount of production for consoles, it's obviously far lower than production for phones. Apple makes a lot of phones, ladies and gentlemen. So even with potential delays at these factories, they'd almost certainly still make the release dates. Although, when the consoles inevitably sell out and end up on eBay and Craigslist for 3 times the price, which they do every single time, people will at least have an excuse as to why these aren't available.
Yeah. Anyways, back over to movie news for now with an announcement for everyone who is curious about how great of a musical Hamilton actually is, but either can't get tickets because they're constantly sold out or simply cannot afford the ridiculous prices of resale tickets. It's a bad situation out there. But Disney has secured the rights to produce the movie.
Yes.
Boom. Now, at first glance, this news might sound as though they're going to do literally a movie version of it like Les Mis, Chicago, Annie, West Side Story, Cats, or any other numerous examples of musical adaptations. But luckily, that is not the case, at least for now. Disney's actually they bought the rights to a filmed performance of the musical on Broadway with its original cast, including Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, so apparently this was filmed all the way back in 2016 during one of the last weeks of the original Broadway cast performance, and it's just been held in a bidding war for distribution ever since.
Nice.
Well, obviously, since this is almost certainly the biggest musical of our generation, the price was going to be high. And yes, it was. It certainly was. It is being reported that Disney paid $75 million to acquire the distribution rights for the already filmed and mostly edited performance, and that's an amount that is apparently the highest price ever paid for a single film acquisition.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the news says.
It doesn't seem like that much.
But they're just acquiring it for distribution. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe for a filmed live action thing?
Well, how many of those profits do they get to see? I need to see more of this deal.
I don't know. But another article that I read was talking about how allegedly in the deal they have the rights to produce more things based on Hamilton after this, so that might be a big reason why.
Yes.
So you eventually an adaptation will happen.
Yeah. So in a phone interview with the New York Times, Lin-Manuel said the following. We worked a very long time to make the very best piece of theater possible, and Tommy has translated that into an exciting film version where you have the best seat in the house with the original cast. The article also goes on to say that the film was shot over the course of 2 nights in front of live audiences of actual ticket holders, in addition to close-ups that were shot separately, and the final version of the film will clock in at around 2.5 hours in length when it's released in October of next year. I guess they're leaving in the intermission, just 30 minutes of dead air.
That would be cool if everyone in the theater, just like when you go to an actual musical or Broadway performance, where it's like, go out, have a little pee-pee, and grab some beer.
Roadhouse version.
Mm-hmm. Roadshow version.
Roadshow.
2 different things.
Roadhouse,
So anyways, I did it. I went and saw Birds of Prey and the emancipation of one...
what are you, a girl?
Fantabulous Harley Quinzel. And so leading up to this... the reviews online have been generally positive. I didn't check
people seem to like it.
The Rotten Tomatoes score before I stepped foot in this room, but it was really high for a DC movie. And here's what I'll say about it. It is the best case scenario for coming out of the Suicide Squad universe.
It started at nothing.
Yeah, rock bottom.
Starting from 0.
It is really, really fun. Ewan McGregor is fantastic in it.
He's very talented.
The only problem with the movie is that the people who are like really, I mean, Margot Robbie's really great as Harley Quinn, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Huntress in it, and Ewan McGregor, who's Black Mask in it, they are both amazing. I just wish they had...
They're an item. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's actually a bit scandalous. They met on the set of Fargo Season 3, and she was married at the time.
Uh-oh.
All of a sudden, she's dating Ewan McGregor, getting a divorce.
Well, anyways, their on-screen chemistry was great. No, they're a bit underutilized. Obviously, I'm not going to go into spoiler territory here, but
how does it end?
Yeah. But no, it's a lot of fun. I can't say that you would like it because your taste in movies varies wildly from mine. I enjoy a good time. This is definitely a good time.
Okay.
The fight choreography and stuff like that in it is a lot of fun. I don't really I think they're really shooting themselves in the foot major with the fact that it was rated R. It did not need to be rated R at all. All they're allowed to do is no. They just say fuck a lot.
Oh.
There's some pretty decent gore, but it's not really necessary.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, we already got the R rating. We might as well like do some gory stuff. But it's like, it's nowhere near like a Deadpool or like a John Wick or anything like that as far as like outrageous violence. Definitely going to go on PG-13. I mean, the movie's it's gonna be doomed anyway because China's shut down. Can't put it in theaters there.
Yeah, it's didn't even think about that.
But it's a good. I enjoyed it. I think it's worth the ticket price. As if you've seen any of the previous episodes of News Dump, I was very hesitant on this one. I was very cold on it.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad did me wrong, and luckily they did more than polish a turd. They actually got something watchable out of it.
They turned that turd into a work of art.
I wouldn't say it's a work of art. It's not a masterpiece or anything, but it's good. It's worth a watch.
They turned that turd into a delicious meal.
It's worth a watch. I think that if you've seen it, let us know in the comments what you thought. But generally, I've got a lot of friends that I trust their opinions, and they liked it too.
Well, so next time I'm on an airplane, I'll check it out.
You know, it is actually good in the theater. It's a very bright movie. You see it on that smudgy, nasty, disgusting plane screen. You're not going to be able to really take in the visuals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing else out right now. You can rent all the Oscar movies pretty much or buy them online digitally. Yeah. Speaking of Oscars, this Sunday, and also the Razzies this Sunday.
The Oscars are this Sunday?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So we'll have plenty to talk about on Monday's podcast. So
hey, I should probably watch a few of those movies before that.
I think I've seen everything except for Tiny Women.
Yeah. I've seen way fewer than that.
Yeah. That's pretty much. You should see 1917. That's real good.
Yeah.
And Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
You haven't seen either of those?
I haven't seen those. Haven't seen The Lighthouse.
Well, I haven't seen Lighthouse.
Haven't seen Little Ladies.
The good news is that you did see Joker, which is definitely going to win. Yeah. On a scale of
big win for incels everywhere.
Going up, is Harley Quinn better than the Joker? I don't even know. They're two completely different movies.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. Good food porn in the movie though. And anytime you see someone talking about the Harley Quinn movie afterwards, they're gonna bring up the food.
Is it like in the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where it's like, damn, that pizza looks delicious?
Yeah, kinda. The comments I was reading today were like, I cannot wait till the Binging with Babish episode of this. So, yeah, it's a tasty looking movie.
Okay.
Anyways, speaking of podcasts, we have an exclusive podcast up from this week. So why am I putting over there? Check it out. If you're a Patreon supporter, just go over to the Patreon page.
Yeah, you know.
And then, watch. Now you can go over here and watch our other episodes from this week, including a new Tech News Day. If you want to know everything that happened with that damn app in Iowa.
Yeah, update. We still don't really know who
Nobody
won.
knows.
It's, yeah. What a clusterfuck. We did it. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll see you very soon for a new episode of Weekly Weird News.
Bye.
Bye.